Dun, 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 dun. And we're back.
It's like I never left.
Yeah. Yo, what's up? We're back.
What's up? We're back. One glove is back.
One glove is back. Not that anyone noticed that we were gone.
No, probably not. But you know,
whatever,
it's oddly enough, we're getting views every now and then. But
Yeah.
you know,
But it's good to be back. How you been, Zaf?
it's been a long time, my dude.
Yeah,
I've been good, man.
It's actually been a year. Over a year.
Almost a year, over a year, yeah.
Yeah,
we
man.
just took a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, a bit of a long hiatus, but whatever. We're back. We're making love to air vagina wherever we go, and
Vagina.
yeah, man. I know these people have been like waiting for us to come back.
Oh yeah,
to
man.
make love to the air vajayjay. Fuck yeah.
I think you're making some assumptions there, my friend.
Yeah, but like whatever.
Yeah, whatever. What's been going on with you, man?
Well, at the moment, COVID.
Oh, for everyone, my God.
Fucking COVID. For you get COVID, you get COVID,
Yeah.
you get COVID. Fucking COVID
Everybody.
for everybody.
Especially if you're in America, though, right? Like,
oh
God.
Damn. Like, the other thing about the COVID, there's going like the fucking conspiracy theories are going through the roof.
And you love your conspiracy theories, bro.
I love conspiracy theories, but this shit is just like, oh, come on, man.
Well, what are the ones that you've heard about?
Okay, like, so my missus does not get into conspiracy theories at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't dig it. But even she's been picking up some shit off Facebook. She goes like, okay, well, did you know that the bats that were infected don't even come from Wuhan? They were genetically enhanced in a fucking lab somewhere else, and then they were brought to Wuhan.
And you're
I was
like, bullshit.
Are you serious?
Fucking bullshit.
And then like there's a couple of colleagues of mine. They're doing shit like, oh fuck, this is just a fucking government thing and blah 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 blah.
Gosh.
Like it's bullshit. No one's even really dead. No one's sick. It's just all fucking shit.
Oh, isn't they think all the deaths are fake deaths?
Yeah, they reckon no, this is bullshit. No one's died. No one's fucking died. It's like, well, I'm
bro.
pretty sure there's a few thousand. Well, how many died? Over a mil?
In America? Oh, overall, I don't know. Ooh, I don't know.
Well, at
must
least
be, I think 300,000 or 400,000.
Yeah, so 300,000 or 400,000 people fucking will probably disagree with you.
Yeah,
You know?
but in America, there's like 90-something thousand dead now.
Oh shit!
It's a lot, man.
But like I don't even know what it is. So people were saying it's just like a flu on steroids. But like the most I know about it is that if you've got a respiratory disorder or some kind of respiratory condition, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah. That's a good point. But also, like, they're like other like risk factors, like being obese, or like being
You're
old.
just festively plump.
Festively plump.
What the fuck are you on about? Obese. Obese dog. You ain't obese.
I'm obese. That's right. But
You're a beast.
there are also like people like heart conditions and like being old is just a risk factor and all that kind of shit. Like pretty much like 90% of people who've died have been like 70 plus.
Shit. Yeah, I mean that's common knowledge out there, but like fucking.
But
What does it do? So it primarily attacks your respiratory system.
yeah,
That's
but
it?
it's weird, right? Because it's acting weird. Like the reason why it's kind of hard to treat because no one has, well, as far as we know, no one has like immunity to it, right? Because it's a brand new kind of condition. And then the thing is, I've read a few things where it's kind of acting like HIV because what happens is people get infected and then they like go into remission, I guess you would call it, or they just like they recover, but they don't create enough antibodies. So when for some reason they can get reinfected later on because the body doesn't recognize, oh yeah, we've had this before, we can hit it hard now and not get infected with it properly. It just gets reinfected fully. So one lady's been confirmed to have it 3 times.
Oh shit.
Over like a 2-month period where, because it's like you're considered recovered when you have like 3 days of no symptoms, like 72 hours, no symptoms. Yeah, 72, 3 days. Yeah. Checking my math on that.
Yeah.
But she got confirmed in 3 days, no symptoms, had another test, confirmed 3 days, no symptoms, and then like again. And then there's like another lady who came back from India through Singapore, I think it was, and no symptoms or anything, was in isolation, whatever. 2 months later, starts showing symptoms.
Oh shit.
Like mild symptoms, but she's in her 70s, so she's like high risk.
Yeah.
So it's acting really weird. And there's some like in America, there's some cases of kids. I think it's only like 5 or 6 cases, maybe up to 12, where they're coming in with something that's similar to like toxic shock.
What's that?
Toxic shock is like when your body's like shutting down from the inside.
Oh, okay.
Like
So each organ is like
organs are just. It's almost like like septic shock. Do you know? It's like when your liver like starts like spilling out. It's like toxins and shit into your body, and your kidneys have shut down and all that kind of stuff. And there's no other like they can't find a reason for it, and they think it's because they've been infected with COVID and it's done something into their system, and then but they haven't shown any symptoms, and then it's just suddenly they have toxic shock. It's weird.
Mother Nature culling out the fucking population. Eh?
Yeah, man. It's pretty full on. And then you got like Americans, like, you know, we have a few American fans, I guess, but for some reason they're protesting. Like, I get it to a degree. I get the protest to a degree. And here's my thing, right? So before you pull faces,
I'm not pulling faces.
all right,
I'm not even doing
doing the fucking thing, all right?
I'm not even doing that.
All right, here's my thing. In Australia, we currently have a stimulus package going where if you're unemployed, you get $1,200 a fortnight.
Yeah.
Over there, they just got one payment of $1,200, and that was it. All right, so it's just like
mean, bro.
Yeah, it's like that's like ow, that hurt.
Oh, shit, sorry, guys. Sorry.
But it's like it's one of those things where it's like I get it. If you're not gonna have any way of sustaining like any kind of like quality of life, you have to work.
Yeah.
Right, and the government's not supporting you. I find it really funny as well because in America they hate socialism, right?
Yeah.
Just hate it. And so all of a sudden, COVID comes along, and everyone's like, "What? We kind of have to be a socialist now because we want to pay out from the government to support us."
Yeah.
But it's like, I thought you hated that,
Come
but
on,
now you see
guys.
the utility of it.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
you know, maybe you got to be somewhere in between. You know, it's up to I don't know. But there's been some big moves happening in the digital world, right? Because everything's become digital, right? So
fucking TikTok,
like
TikTok
shit
has been going
up.
fucking crazy.
YouTube consumption's gone up like crazy. Podcasting has gone up like crazy. Like
Hence
I'm pretty
why
sure,
we're back.
like the top 5 richest guys, right? Like Bezos and Bill Gates and all that kind of stuff. They've increased in like $75 million or $75 billion, maybe. No, probably $1 million in net worth overall in this 3-month period. But at the same time, it's because they're all investing in things or invested in things that benefit from it. Like Amazon is now like, I went to buy something for gear, like for my studio stuff, and it said 3-month fucking delivery. I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, it might never come. I might forget about it. You know, like at the front of my house, like our neighbors had their packages stolen.
Oh shit, real?
And it's real funny because, so we come home. Well, I was already home, but the neighbor, she was outside freaking out, and Stitch just got home, and she was like, "Oh, you all right? What's going on?" And she goes, I was meant to have a package delivered, and I think someone's stolen it because it says delivered." And Stitch and her are talking about, it's happened before. Go talk down to the people down the street. You know, they have security cameras looking up and down the street, so you know maybe you'll be able to find it and everything.
Oh, really?
And then like a couple of days later, Stitch noticed that they had a package on their front door, so she went and knocked on the door, and the guy was at home but he was vacuuming, so he didn't hear that the guy had dropped off the package. And she's like, "I just wanted to make sure that you got your package, so that no one could steal it again." And at that time, the chick had come home, and she goes, "Oh, what's going on?" I was like, "Oh, I just wanted to make." Stitch was like, "Oh, I just want to make sure that." You know, it didn't get stolen. And she goes, "You know what happened? The next day, the package had been put back on the porch." So
What?
So they think that it's someone who's local, like one of the neighboring houses, has stolen the package, heard them talking about the fact that there's cameras down the street.
Oh, and they
go on, "Oh shit, we're gonna get caught, put it back." And
dick move.
And the thing is, like, a few months ago, the neighbor on the other side had a big package stolen. So it's like probably someone who's local to here in the first few houses who are,
Well, yeah, criminals aren't really too clever.
or at least like the small time criminals.
Yeah, the thieves and shit like that. They ain't the sharpest tools in the.
I want to tell you about some big news that's happened. I don't know if you know about it or not.
What?
In podcasting, it's a huge move.
No, what?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Have you heard about it?
I have heard about this shit, but I don't know what all the ins and outs of it is.
Joe Rogan's made a deal with Spotify.
Yeah.
So that in September, his whole catalog is going onto Spotify. Like all 12 years, you can access all 12 years of his podcast. And then from January next year, it's going to be exclusive to Spotify.
Oh, stink.
He's taking out everything else. But Spotify is free, right?
Oh. Okay.
So you can watch it for free, but you get ads, which is fair.
Stink.
Well,
well,
it takes
you
a
get it
lot
on
to
YouTube
maintain.
anyway,
Yeah, same thing. But if you subscribe to like Spotify, which I do anyways for like my other podcasts and music and all that, it's going to be ad free. And the thing is, the dude makes $30 million a year on YouTube, I think, from his podcast. So they have a 3-year contract. It's a leasing of his stuff. So they don't own the podcast. They just like have exclusive distribution rights for his podcast. They're adding, from what I understand, they're adding a video element onto Spotify, so you can actually listen or you can watch it. Because I was like, what are they gonna do when people like watching some of the people? And I was like, oh, okay, that resolves that problem. Guess how much the deal was for? Or it's suspected for
100 mil,
100 to 150 mil up front, right? And then, like if Joe Rogan's smart, which he definitely is, he's definitely going to get some stuff off the back end. So probably another 100 to 150 mil off the back, which would be like any extra sponsorships. If people have gone over to Spotify just to listen to him, if like, he's still got his other brand deals. So I don't know if he's going to be doing like sponsored, by like the nutrition company and stuff that he goes with. If he's going to be tying that into it on the free stuff. And then there's also probably got some shares in Spotify out of it.
God damn.
And here's the thing. After the announcement, I think they said Spotify's value went up by $1 billion.
What? Just through one fucking podcast. Oh, well, it's not
Well,
just
it's
any
the
old,
biggest podcast.
It's the
though.
podcast. Oh,
I was
shit.
listening to like
That's fucking crazy.
some people that are close to him, like some other comedians and stuff, and they're like, you've taken the biggest guy in podcasting and you've brought him onto your platform, which means what you want to do is you want to be the best platform for podcasting.
Yeah.
And they've done it in the best way. And it's added value to podcasting, a value that wasn't there before. Like now it's like, well, if you have a podcast that has a good amount of downloads, his is like a crazy amount of downloads, but now you can actually like make exclusive deals. It's set the precedent that you can make exclusive deals. It's like your podcast is good enough that it's getting this much traffic and you want your platform to be the dominant one, then you start contracting with other podcasts saying, all right, be exclusive to us. We want listeners on your thing.
Fuck, that sounds kind of scary, man.
No, it's good though.
I know it's good, but it's like fucking shady behind the deal, behind the fucking...
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, think about it. You're thinking about it negatively, right? Stop being so negative, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Think about it like this. Before, you had YouTube and you had Apple, right? They were like where most, like you have Google Play and all that as well. But Apple had a bit of a monopoly on podcasting, but it's not really like a priority for them. And the problem with like YouTube and Apple is they censor people. So if you start talking about stuff that they don't like, or if you swear or you smoke weed and stuff on your podcast, or like he does,
Fuck you, Apple.
they'll like kind of push you down on the algorithm, so you're not showing up on people's feeds as much. And like another podcast, they were talking about how they played a song on their podcast and then they had commentary on that song, so it's still Creative Commons rights. Like you're allowed to use that for creative use. And Apple were like, nah, you use that song, we basically made it so people can't find your podcast on Apple.
Whoa, they can do that?
Yeah, they can do that.
They're like the dark government of podcast world.
Exactly. And it's just like, well, now you're stopping people from being creative and talking about things that you want to be doing. Like the whole point of being creative is you can talk about the things you want to talk about. You're not really working for anyone else. And then
say and do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Well, like, yeah, within reason, right? Like you don't want to be inciting violence and all that kind of stuff. But maybe you do, but you know, most people don't want to be doing that. But I think it's a benefit to podcasting overall, right? Because
Yeah.
it takes that monopoly away, and now you're getting Spotify who wants to be a big player, which means all right, cool, we're gonna have like a bit more option now as podcasts to bring that shit about. I think it's gonna be a good thing for us overall. It's just gonna take a bit of time for
A
everyone to catch
good
up.
thing for everybody.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I think it's a pretty dope move. He's got fuck you money now. Like, you know, he can literally be like, I don't want to do that. You know, he'll probably still do stand up and everything like that, knowing him.
I don't think he'll ever stop doing stand up. Like I mean,
That's just bread and butter.
That's his passion. That's where he started.
Yeah.
You know, like that was the that was the
thing that got him. Actually, no, I think also Fear Factor was a big thing that like skyrocketed his like.
I've seen him on the early UFCs, and he's got hair. And he looks, looks funny, man.
So weird, right?
Yeah. Like, oh, bro, that's like you take a second look. Whoa, shit, that is Joe Rogan. Yeah. You're like, fuck.
His commentating has improved so much as well. Like I've seen some of the early stuff, and it was like,
well, the early UFC, they're still kind of ironing out all the creases. They didn't really know what they were kind of like. You know, you got to give credit to people like Big John McCarthy, and like he was there, like basically writing the book. For the rules,
yeah.
You know, like what's cool, what's not cool, and then but you had all those the boxing commissions and shit like
trying to get in the way,
like, fuck you can't do this.
This is dogfighting, and yeah,
you know, chucking all that shit in, like so, like those early ones are a little bit rough, but fuck, they're entertaining. They're so fucking good. Like,
when they didn't have like the weight class system and all that kind of stuff, dude.
You see that dude, the big sumo dude, and he got his tooth kicked out by the crowd.
Oh yeah. I think I remember seeing.
You see it flying into the crowd.
I don't remember that, but
bro, he's like down on the ground. And he's just boom, just laser boot in his tooth, pew, and you can see it, and it's like fuck. I mean, as crazy as those were, I mean, it's just like, well, that's like. Fuck, that's full on, man.
Yeah,
like, that's like a real fight, like a real fight.
It's more maybe more representative of like what would happen in real world, right? Because you're not always gonna be like, oh, we're the same weight class, so we can fight, and then our friends who are the same weight class, they can fight. Nah, it's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna fight. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
You and you.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Good luck.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
Whatever happens.
All the best. If you die, you signed a waiver, so it's
yeah. Well, I mean, and that stuff still kind of goes on, and like the borderland fights in Thailand and Laos and Burma, that stuff goes on. Like, but like, there's no big fucking razzmatazz shit. Like, there's fucking no cameras. There's just a makeshift ring. Oh, yeah. Then and two dudes just going at it. Like, they waive this. They sign this waiver. It doesn't even look official. It just looks like it's been handwritten. You promise not to revenge kill if you die, or something.
What? Revenge kill?
Or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, does it come back as a ghost?
Or no, their family or some shit.
Oh, right.
You agree that you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You can die.
Yeah.
And they wear the they wear the old school stuff, like just a hand wraps.
Oh man.
And off they go. But like, there's other things that are going on at the moment, like in parts of Thailand where they got the old school rope. I think it's called kat chut.
Oh, isn't they tie their hands in rope?
Yeah, like
rope,
and like and they I've seen some stuff Sanchai.
Wouldn't that be more painful?
Yeah, man, like because it's like it's like, man, it's solid, bro, and rope burn.
It cut you, and it'll burn you, fully.
Yeah, so like you got more of a chance of getting like even if you get grazed, and like, you know, adrenaline's pumping, the heart, the heart's pumping, adrenaline's like, and like blood will just start pissing out. So kind of look bit more worse than what it actually is. Yeah. But still, like, bloody matches and shit like that.
Damn.
Yeah. It's not that fucking shit, you know, when you see on kickboxing, they dip their hands in glass and shit like that.
What?
You know, remember Kickboxer?
You mean a movie?
Yeah.
Right.
The movie?
All right. I think I've seen that one.
And
is that with
Jean-Claude.
Oh, Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I think a different one.
Yeah. This is fucking from like 1980 something.
Okay, bro, I wasn't
way
born yet.
Before your time.
Yeah, I wasn't born
before your time.
Yeah.
Let me take you back, son.
Oh, I forgot how old you were sometimes.
Yeah, bro. Jean-Claude made this movie called Kickboxer.
Yeah.
Like, and if you didn't know what kickboxing was or Muay Thai or anything like that, you went, "Oh my god, that is so fucking cool."
Yeah.
But when you start training and you look back,
like
it's so cringy, bro.
Yeah.
Oh shit! And he's like doing shit. He's like going, like this in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, They don't do that.
They don't do that.
The Muay Thai, they don't do that. Like even in the old school form of Muay Thai, the Muay Baran stuff, and like they do kind of these funny form things.
Yeah.
But they don't go, ooh. Like they don't, they don't do shit like that. And like, but there's old Jean-Claude doing it on there, fucking getting his ha 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 down and shit. Like, so
there's some legit like John Claude's still pretty like talented in terms of like how flexible he was and everything.
Yeah,
but think of like
he still is very flexible and shit.
What's that, Michael Jai White? Is that his name?
Michael Jai White. Yeah,
he's like legit.
Yeah, he's legit. He's a Kyokushin black belt.
Yeah, that's
like,
right. I think
they're not really what you would call a traditional school. Like they're kind of. It is a very. I think it was made in. Like it's not like a Okinawan karate.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think it is a Japanese, like a.
It's still like from Japan, but it's not like the American style where the point system type of thing.
Like these guys scrap and they scrap hard. Like, I mean, like for their gradings, you got to fight.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, and there are rules set in place and shit like that. So you can punch to the body, but you can't punch to the face. But it's all bare knuckle.
Bare knuckle. Oh.
And
I guess, like, it's going to hurt, but at least you're not punching to the face.
Yeah, but like, it's fitness and conditioning wise, you got to be on that level.
Yeah, you would have to be.
Because you will get destroyed. And like, the black belt levels, they got to do something like 50 fights or shit.
What?
Something like
in one
for
sitting?
the grading. Like, yeah, that's it. That's you demonstrate your knowledge on kata and all that kind of stuff, but then you got to fight. And like
50 fights.
Something like 50 1-minute fights, but they're one after the other.
That's still 50 minutes of fighting.
Yeah, man. And like they've got this thing.
And they're all fresh, right? All the people
they're
coming
all fresh.
in. Yeah.
And they don't go from best to worst, or like they go from you start off with first degree black belts. And then you go through the seconds, you go through the thirds.
Oh, it's getting harder and
it gets
harder.
harder and harder and harder.
Like what? Do they expect you to be able to make it through all 50 fights?
You have to make it. You have to make it. You got to.
Just
you can't give up.
No, not give up. I mean like
how
dead can you be at the end where you're just like barely able?
You can be dead, but you just can't stop.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's what I think the name Kyokushin Kai, I think it roughly translates to ultimate truth.
Oh, okay.
The ultimate truth, So the reason why it was created is because and I'm probably going to butcher this, but Masayama Sensei, the founder, he was just like, he kind of looked around and he was like looking at what karate was kind of lacking.
Yeah.
There was a lot of kind of hairy-fairy stuff going around, I suppose at the time. So he changed it up and said, "This is what we're gonna
made it a bit more full on,
do like full contact kind of stuff." Because there's a lot of point fighting stuff or no contact stuff floating around.
I think that's a big American influence there, right?
Yeah,
the point system
I think this
thing.
when was transitioning over into America.
Yeah, and now there's like the Olympic style karate, which is like just point systems.
Well, they call Shiai Shobu. It was just point fighting.
Yeah.
It's basically a game of tag.
Yeah.
You can't get hurt.
Because you're going like full speed.
Yeah, it's a game of tag.
Yeah.
And Masayama was like, "Oh man, I fucking do this shit. Fucking let's scrap
just some proper stuff. Yeah.
And and like they've got this thing. Called, it's 100-man kumite or 100-man.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And
is that so? It's not like you're versing 100 people back to back. It's 100 people come into a pool, right? And then it's like you're like 2 people face off. Whoever wins.
No, one dude fights 100 people.
Oh, okay. That's so different to what I thought the kumite was. Okay.
You have 100 fights.
Okay. Alrighty then. It's like
famous K1 fighter back in the day, Francisco Filo from Brazil. He done it. He completed it.
How do you even you have to win all 50 fights, or you just have to make it through the fight?
I think you got to make it through. I think.
Yeah, but you don't have to win them, right? You don't have to knock every person out or submit every person or whatever.
Tell you the truth, I couldn't tell you. I think you just got if you get beaten up so bad that you can't continue, that's it. You're done.
That's it.
You know,
Damn. How long are the fights?
1 minute. I think.
Okay,
they're
still
1
1 minute. Okay.
1 minute. Fresh to, but and once
Still,
again,
man.
it's
No downtime in between.
yeah. I couldn't tell you that either. You'd have to look that up.
Mm.
But yeah, they just scrap it out. 100 people.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if there's only like a 30-second break in between, that's still
Yeah.
like 100 minutes straight
Yeah.
fighting, basically. Like,
I mean, Kyokushin cops a lot of criticism, but at the end of the day, as a system, like they produce great fighters.
yeah, I can
Like,
imagine
if
why,
you,
right?
If
Like,
if you get to a black belt level in Kyokushin,
then you're a legit
you're
fighter.
legit.
Yeah.
You know, like BJJ, you can't cheat in BJJ.
Unless you have like one of those like owners or like, you know, the coaches who are just like giving out easy belts.
You're giving
you know,
out
yeah.
easy belts and stuff like that. Like, but like if you in BJJ, if you reach a certain level, like a purple belt or something like that, you're expected to have a certain level of skill,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I don't mean to take, you know, like shit on karate or anything, because I'm a karate practitioner myself.
Mm.
I've seen it all too many times. Yeah, where people get like black belts that you shouldn't get your black belt. You should
Yeah.
like, bro, are you sure? Like, you're a black belt? It's
But I
like,
think that happens in
fuck, you
everything,
can't.
right? Like people get moved up ranks when they shouldn't.
when they're
As-
fucking the
yeah.
Oh,
Maybe. You never know.
jokes, bro, jokes. You know,
But you know, this the other thing is like wrestling. Wrestling like produces really good fighters
Yeah, man.
because of the type of training that they do, where you just have to like keep on going when you're exhausted, and that the type of drilling that they do.
yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
just, it's full tit from day one.
Yeah, and
You know,
and a lot of them
and-
start when they're like kids.
And it really does sort out
The cream of the crop. Like
the
they
men
bring
from
to
the
them.
boys.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's not one of those arts that I'm gonna dabble with.
Yeah,
You know, you can dabble with it, but like those people that dabble, they get weeded out rather quickly.
yeah.
But like the guys that stick around, bro, that you know they're on to good,
They're- yeah.
they go on to good and like better things.
Oh, sorry.
You
Yawning here. Damn.
What's going on?
Oh man, I went to bed late last night
Ooh,
because we had, you know, the restrictions have lifted a little bit in Queensland, so
which is good.
we actually
Good, by the way. I'm just gonna move this.
a little bit closer to your
kinda-
face as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move that because it's making a sound on the thing there.
Move that mic close to your face. Get them sexy baritones in there.
Yeah. So what'd you have a late night for, man?
We're just seeing friends that we haven't seen for a while. You know, my friend Roman, who we train with sometimes, and we went out to get a Korean fried chicken. Which was pretty
Yeah.
dope. Haven't had it for a while. It's heavy, like it's heavy food though, because it's super oily,
And delicious.
but it's so delicious, bro.
Korean food is fucking so good.
And then we got bubble tea. Oh,
Ooh.
well, I got bubble tea. 'Cause
I love the bubble tea.
I'm greedy.
Were you in Southport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the last time we went to Southport was with you. Before that was when we got hot
Before
pot.
the COVID thing.
Well
man,
before
yeah.
that was like
all
January.
the restaurants, man. All my favorite restaurants are like you can't.
So
go
many
there.
closed down, man.
Yeah, man. I'm
Yeah.
really gutted about that.
And I think some of them would have been like my friend Roman was saying. He's like some of them probably just packed up and went back like to their home country to spend time
Yeah.
with their family because of like immigration stuff, right? Like you can only sometimes get one person in the family over, and they're really strict. So maybe they're just going back and they've closed up shop and they're like, okay,
Oh, wow.
hedge our bets. Oh,
Yeah. Well, we had a girl from Spain training with us. She had to go back.
damn, that's rough.
She was like, "Oh well, there's no real point staying here."
Yeah.
Because like she kind of arrived maybe a month or two before it really hit, so she
nah.
hadn't really got set up properly.
Yeah, she hasn't been situated.
So yeah, she had to go back, and because like there was
Damn.
no way to support herself or
Yeah,
you know.
no job or anything like that, and everything's like what's that? Unemployment rate's going up to like 6%, or will be by Christmas, which is like double what it was before.
Yeah,
rough,
I mean,
man.
I bitch and moan about my job, but at this point in time, but thank God I still got one. Man.
Yeah,
Oh.
man, it's one of those things. Like it can be tough. I think a lot of people are under stress as well. Like employers and employees are under stress because employers are like, I got to keep my business afloat, and employees are like, I'm overworked now because hours got cut down, but you're kind of expected to do a lot more stuff. But it's tough, man. It's just like I wonder how long this shit's gonna go on for. Like,
I mean, it's got to ease up sometime.
yeah, but here's the thing: did they do it too early? Right? because we're about to go into flu season, right? It's like 14 degrees in the middle of the day today, and what's the date today?
wrong
It's
with
like, what do you mean? It's not even winter yet, bro.
Okay.
But like, I like the cold,
Okay.
but it's like, it's so early in the year for it to be getting this cold, which means when we go into
Coronavirus did it.
yeah, definitely.
Coronavirus did it.
Actually, there might be something to that.
I was just joking around. I don't believe coronavirus can change the weather.
Okay,
I don't believe that.
here's my reasoning, and it's gonna make sense in a second. Right,
I think I know where you're going.
because so much activity had dropped, and then we had less greenhouse gases, which created less of a blanket above us for temperature cushioning. We've got basically like less of a blanket on like Australia at the moment because everything's gone down a bit. So it's colder than it would be because literally we just stopped polluting the air as much.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to balance out. I think the world had a bit of a breather.
It's like only a couple of months. Do you reckon a couple of months of like low emissions and all that kind of stuff is something that can actually affect change?
Yeah,
Permanent change.
not permanent change because we're going to go back eventually, right?
Yeah.
Because people don't learn. History repeats itself. But and people are going to get greedy and they're like, oh, well, I want to make money now. I don't care about the environment. Like it's just going to happen again. Hopefully we've learned some stuff. Like maybe there'll be a bit more working from home, so there's less commuting and stuff. But I remember seeing like pictures of I think it was parts of Spain and parts of like China and all that, like 10 days after lockdown, and it was like clear, like there's shots from space, and it's just like all the smog had cleared from like all the cloud from emissions had cleared, and like the air quality readings were like so much higher. Like they haven't been that clear for like 20 years or something, maybe not that long, but 10 years, I'd say. Like, and it's like, okay, so everything. I think that's why it's colder, because like there's just less like greenhouse gases which act as like a blanket on temperature, and that's why everything was heating up. And now it's like, well, it's good, like, but it's just cold. But I like it. I love the cold.
I like get those glass cutters out, baby.
Yeah, man.
Yes, man.
Yeah, am I gonna have to bring out my special powers again?
Oh,
do you remember that episode? Oh man, that was an early episode for us.
Man, I grabbed onto your fucking tip, like fucking boom, bro.
Yeah,
like
bro.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Stone cold.
bro.
I want to ask you something as well. You know, when the COVID thing first came out, did you buy up toilet paper?
Nah, man. You know what? Just before that stuff had happened, we bought like a 36 pack, right? Because
Do you normally buy a 36?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's just because it lasts you like ages.
Yeah.
And then we're like, do we need to buy another pack? Nah, we'll be fine. Like it'll be all good. And that lasted us all the way through the panic buying.
Yeah.
And then for a couple of weeks after, when they started restocking stuff, and then we just bought like a big like 12 pack or an 8 pack that was like double thick rolls.
Fuck, that shit cracked me up. People were losing their minds.
Did you hear about that guy? I think it was in Adelaide or something like that. He had bought like 5,000 rolls of toilet paper and tried to go back to sell it to them.
Yeah, you
and
dodgy
they were like,
motherfucker.
get fucked. They were like, no way, we're not going to
Eat a
support that.
dick.
And he had 5,000 like, oh, your
Oh
alarm's
shit,
going on.
that's time, bro.
Damn, was that 45 minutes?
No, that's 35 minutes.
All right. Let's just go on for a little bit longer.
Keep going. We're supposed to be 33 minutes, but no, we
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah,
But he also had like 5,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. And
what
it's
a
just,
dog, man.
Here's a really interesting thing that's happened because of COVID. Now, I don't know how much we should talk on this, but like the tensions that are increasing between Australia and China, because Australia wanted an investigation done into right? And now they're like, okay, we're just going to tax all your exports. Well, I don't know how that works, but basically they're going to make it harder for us to export to China, and they're also not going to take any more Australian beef. And we're like,
Well,
okay,
just up the price on milk powder because they love that shit.
yeah, exactly, right?
Motherfuckers.
They need it over there because they fill their shit with plastic and stuff, right? Like, I guess we could do that, right? We could just increase the price for them to import all of Australian goods, as in like we should bring a lot more stuff.
Game?
Yeah, exactly.
Play that game.
The thing is that like a lot of countries like America, Australia, and all they're realizing, well, India and China have a lot of their manufacturing, and we've taken it all offshore. If something like this were to happen, or just say for whatever reason, tensions between countries got so bad that they cut off supply, we'd be fucked. So,
Would we?
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that are made overseas that we should be making over here.
We could just start making them ourselves.
We should. That's what I'm saying. We should definitely start making them ourselves.
Make ourselves a little bit more self-sufficient.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're exporting like coal to China and stuff, but they stopped that just before COVID. They started going more renewable, I guess. But I don't know if they're actually doing that or they're just trying to say it. The other thing I'm wondering is how many people in China actually died?
Yeah, but I remember talking to you, I don't know however long ago it was, and you're saying like, okay, they've been doing shit like this, like say 5 people are showing symptoms or some shit, and then 2 people have it, but they leave out the other 3 that have severe symptoms or some shit like that.
No, so you're close, you're close. So what it is in their statistics that they're reporting to the WHO, right, which is the World Health Organization, they're saying, say 5 people tested, right, but only 2 of them actually showed symptoms and 3 of them are asymptomatic, no symptoms.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're only going to report 2 of them as having COVID, and the other 3 who are asymptomatic don't count. I'm like, so your infection rates are like way higher than you're reporting, like way higher. And then at the same time, if you're doing shit like that, I can guarantee you they're fucking with the numbers where the number of people that have died. Like, I can guarantee.
Bro, you're going to start a war, cuz.
Right. Like, I'm not saying anything new, right?
Okay,
It's been covered by a lot of people by now, but I think it's just so dodgy, man.
Oh man, well, all this kind of shit is always going to be dodgy. You know, governments doing their dark fucking.
What do you?
Doing their
I don't know how much we can talk on Australian government stuff. I don't know if
bro, fucking, we're gonna get. I'll get deported.
You get deported.
Yeah, fucking.
Let's not touch on it then, because I need my co-host. I need you for the show. Otherwise, I would.
I don't think Jacinda wants me back anyway.
Oh yeah.
Took her out on a date, didn't call her back the next day. Nah, jokes, Jacinda. I love you.
Oh man.
Love you. Yeah, old Jacinda. Yeah. Sorry, babe.
Good old Jacinda. Man, I'd laugh if you had actually dated her at one point in time.
I probably kicked her out of a club in my day.
Oh, yeah.
I probably.
Do you reckon she's a clubbing type, though?
You know what? The quiet ones are always the freaks.
You reckon?
I know.
Oh, you know. Of course you know, yeah. They're the ones who get a bit of alcohol in them and they start getting a little bit.
Fucking turn loose. Like, you, it's like all that repressed.
Yeah, they're just like,
whether it be sexual.
What are inhibitions?
Yeah, what are inhibitions again?
Yeah.
And like they just unleash on the world and feel sorry for anyone that gets in their way.
Oh man,
fucking.
She's done a pretty dope job.
Yeah, man. Like all hats off to her, man. She's done really, really well. Like my brother was feeling the pinch for a little bit. Well, everyone's feeling the pinch, you know.
Yeah.
And but they're slowly getting back to normality.
Yeah.
And but like, you know, all the other world leaders are commending her on it and what she's done. You know,
she's probably had. Well, it's weird that they're also commending Australia. Well, no, they weren't commending Australia. No, I take that back. I was thinking about Rudd back in the global financial crisis back in 2008.
But like Morrison's he's done all right. ScoMo,
he could have done better.
Oh, he could have done better?
I reckon he could have done it earlier.
Well, we ain't in America's position, so fucking.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. Just saying
America like, fucked up a little bit.
Didn't Italy fuck up and like the fucking people were dropping dead.
So Italy was another thing though. Like they fucked. They were probably a bit too slow, right, in their response. But it's also like super early in what was happening with COVID. All right. So no one really knew what was going on. But yeah, they could have done a bit better in their response to time. Mm-hmm. But here's a few other factors that led to like a higher death rate with them. It's like they have like a really collectivist culture, right? So we kind of we come from collectivist cultures. But they're similar to us where like families, multi-generations are living in the same household. So you got like kids, grandkids, maybe great-grandkids all living in the same household. And really like tight like communities, really like packed, right? Like their population is like 70
dense
million.
As fuck,
yeah,
right.
Super fucking dense. And you know, like a lot of their food is they're all eating with their hands from like a shared bowl type of thing.
You
like,
love it, bro.
Yeah.
It tastes
and you
better.
share drinks and you're hugging and there's lots of kissing and blah blah blah. Yeah, just
food tastes better off the fingers anyway.
Yeah. But there's a lot of that stuff going on, right? Yeah. And because of that, it was just the disease became a lot more communicable, right? It got transmitted really early, and then they have a really high elderly population over there.
Yeah.
So like the percentage of elderly people is higher than normal. So all of that taken into consideration is a lot of deaths. And here's the thing: I was reading this paper on like on the possible like actual death rate or the actual numbers of deaths in Italy and stuff, and they think it's like a lot higher. That was related to COVID, because the numbers that were getting reported to WHO were only numbers in hospitals.
Oh, okay.
But if you go out to like the
Rural
remote,
country,
the communities and stuff, like they're comparing like in one community they had say 5,000 deaths or whatever in that community the previous February, and then this February they had like 8,000. So it was like 3,000 extra deaths than normal. So it's like, okay, well then that's probably a good chance to do with COVID, right? Like maybe not all of them, but like a good percentage, and then say that's distributed fairly like similar to the rest of like Italy. I mean, your numbers are a lot higher.
Yeah, man, that's fucking crazy. Like nothing to like. Oh, I don't know, just like everyone seems to be fucking just dropping dead. You know, like fucking. Like even didn't the UK have a real bad run?
Yeah, UK had a bad run.
It's
The prime
like-
minister got it.
Yeah. What's his name? Like Barry or some shit.
Barry, he's not far off. Now you've
Boris?
pushed Boris Johnson. That's his name.
Boris.
But we'll call him Barry.
Bazza.
Good old Bazza.
BJ.
Bozzo?
Like,
Nah,
whatever.
Bazza.
Call him BJ.
BJ. Yeah, there you go, BJ. Yeah, he was like, they're considered maybe on his deathbed or something. But they're like, oh, he was so bad that we're making considerations of like, you know, the next move if he had died. I was like, wouldn't you already have that in place?
Yeah, like from the start, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
an emergency prime minister to take place.
You mean like the next one in line, right? Is there a prime minister? Who's underneath the prime minister?
Vice prime minister?
Yeah, do we have vice prime minister?
I don't know. Like maybe
I
that's
sound
the
like
Queen's
an idiot
job
right now. Yeah,
Isn't that what the royal family's supposed to be doing? Like leading the country or some shit?
No, their country, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But you know what I find interesting? I was listening to the news this morning, and the Trump, it was like, you know, because they have to get tested really regularly. He gets tested like regularly for coronavirus.
AIDS.
And maybe that too. And because apparently there's an outbreak of coronavirus in the White House at the moment. Of course there is. And he goes, I tested positive towards the negative. Like I was very positive towards the negative side. Like I was strongly positive that I was negative. And so basically the White House confirmed that he's negative, right? But I'm like, would he, even if you fucking got it, would he actually say that he got it?
No, you gotta, like, the thing with Trump is, like,
he's super entertaining.
For a president, like, his choice of words and the way he speaks is like...
Right, he's definitely on ADHD meds or something.
Like you compare him, like, you compare a Trump speech to an Obama speech. You know...
It's like a crackhead trying to make a speech.
Did you see that one where he's like going, I use words. I use the best words.
Oh, what?
He's like, I got this thing because I got the best words. It turned out to be like a meme or some shit like that. It was like one I guess it was when he was running, and he was like, I use words. I'm educated. I use the best words.
Oh my god!
And
he thinks he's the best at everything. I remember when his
everybody uses words, dog. Come on, man.
His what do you call it? Like the head of his medical, like the medical informant of America, right? The main guy.
Or the
minister,
general surgeon? Or
that guy, general surgeon, whatever. And
Surgeon General or whatever.
Same thing.
Yeah.
General surgeon general.
I don't know.
Yeah. He was listening to Trump like say something about COVID, and he just literally face palms.
Did he?
Yeah. He's just like, I'm gonna have to explain this somehow. Like, I think it was when he advised people to take those two medications together that could like kill you.
Oh,
shit. Do you remember that?
Oh, no, I didn't hear about that. So
it was like this.
So Trump's going on and go,
like,
you need to take these two medications.
They do these two things, and it's the best thing. It'll cure you or whatever. And it's like, no, they'll probably kill you.
Yeah.
And then he asked people, can we inject disinfectant into our veins, right? It
Yes.
cleansed him from the inside. Like
Yes.
the insane timeline of this, like it's just so incredible. Like his response at every stage, he goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. Oh, it's a hoax. You know, blah blah blah." And then he goes, "I knew it was a pandemic before anyone was calling it a pandemic." I was like, "Oh, come on, bro."
Bro.
And then he's asking if you can cure it with disinfectant into your veins. Like,
Yeah, man. Get some
America,
Jif.
come on, man. Get some Jif.
Get some
yeah,
Jif,
man.
bro.
Some easy off bam, man. Like,
Easy up. Bang.
oh, bro. It's just like,
He's
feel
entertaining.
Sorry.
He's entertaining.
Far out. He knows how to be entertaining.
He's
I don't know
entertaining.
if it's intentional or not, but God, it's just entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Man, but and all the shit that he's done, like, you know, he got busted saying, "I just grab people's pussies," you know, and all that shit, and and oh man, really? Come on, dude.
Yeah.
And then leader of the free
and
world.
then nothing happened. And then he got the impeachment trial, and then nothing happened. Like,
yeah, man. I heard him on the news yesterday, like dogging out Obama. Yeah, he's an incompetent president. Blah blah blah. I was like, bro,
trying to gas.
you try to tell people to take 2 medications that will probably kill them. Or come on,
bro. You can do better than that. Damn.
But but he uses the best words.
Yeah.
Uses the best words.
Oh my God.
I know so many words.
I invented the words. You know.
I invented word. The word.
The word. Yeah.
Okay,
Man, I keep on peeking our goddamn mics from laughing.
That's
I
all
should
good,
just
bro.
stop. I should silence myself.
No. Well, I mean, are we gonna wrap this shit up?
We should
or-
wrap it up, man. I think.
Well,
I think
it's good to be back, Zuff.
Yeah,
good
man,
To see
feels
you again,
good.
You fucking saucy minx.
Oh, man, I'm gonna go dip myself in some chocolate.
And also good to see you guys again.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
we can't
I don't know
actually
why
see
you're
you,
pointing
but-
at the laptop, and you should be pointing at the camera, my friend.
I'm dyslexic. No,
Yeah,
jokes.
yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know dyslexic was meant you couldn't see things properly,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Bro.
But whatever.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Okay. Damn. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
A bit too much cheese and curry.
Yeah,
last night,
bro.
eh?
Yeah. Too much.
Lactose intolerance.
Yeah, you know.
But
Korean
yeah,
fried
also
chicken.
good to see you guys, man. Good to be back, and catch us whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever.
This is One Glove.
One
I'm
Glove.
Zaf.
Wanna. Peace out. One
Peace
love.
out. One love.
Stay safe, everybody.
Peace.